Hello everyone, Dr. Eric, the fitness physician. Welcome to my channel where I talk about all things about hormonal fitness and muscle medicine. So I'm continuing on my journey of thyroid. We talk about things on Thyroid Thursday, and I'm delving into the physiology, kind of the thyroid 101, starting from the beginning, working my way down. So I get questions a lot about thyroid. How does it work? What are the different types? What's going on, etc. So I'm going to kind of delve into that a little bit more. So today I'm just going to talk about the basics of thyroid. And when we talk about, last time we talked about hypothyroidism versus a thyroid deficiency. There is a difference, but they are similar. So today I'm going to go into this is more of the traditional side of what is when people are truly hypothyroid. What is hypothyroidism? It means basically your thyroid gland is just not making enough thyroid hormone. And why is that? Well, there's different types. There's primary, there's secondary, there's tertiary. I'll get into all those. So I'm going to start at the beginning. So the thyroid, first thing we talk about is primary hypothyroidism. What that means is basically the thyroid is just not pumping out enough thyroid hormone. Thyroid, of course, right here in your neck. And why is it not working? There's a lot of reasons for that, and I'll talk about that later on. But basically, it's usually whether it's an autoimmune condition, injury, surgery, illness, genetics, different things, where basically the bottom line is, and again, I'll talk about this in future videos, but it's just not pumping out enough thyroid hormone. So when that happens, normally what happens is when everything else is functioning properly, the rest of your health is good, all the other connections are working fine, your brain senses that and said, hey, you need more thyroid hormone. So the pituitary gland pumps out more TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, and it travels down to the thyroid. It's kind of like a bam, like a kickstart. Hey, thyroid, come on, start pumping out. Similar to when we talk about the sex hormones with men and women, if we're not making enough testosterone, estrogen, etc., we get a signal from the brain, pumps out more FSH and LH, and tells our testicles or our ovaries to pump out more sex hormones. Same thing here. So what happens is in the subclinical phase, you get a very mild elevation in TSH. Sometimes it's only above 3 or 4, maybe a little bit over 5. And the T4 and T3, oftentimes they can be normal, right? It's the only indication that you're going to see laboratory-wise. Of course, you might start seeing symptoms, and that's more important than the labs, like we talked about last time. When you start getting into more mild to moderate cases, obviously the TSH is going to go higher, definitely over 5, oftentimes over 10. And in the beginning, T4 and T3 will be maybe normal, maybe a little bit lower, kind of borderline low, like we talk about, not optimal, but trending. Again, it's important to follow the trends. Similar, like I talk about with optimizing our health and optimizing our hormones, we want an optimal level, even though it can be in the normal range, say 0 to 10, but if it's at 1 or 2, it's a low end, and especially if it's trending down over time, that's something more important than the actual number itself. And then, of course, as we get into more moderate, again, the TSH is going to be very high, and the T4 and T3 are clearly going to be low. These are the obvious cases. So that's primary hypothyroidism. So next time I'm going to talk about secondary hypothyroidism and then tertiary, and then we'll get into more of some of the things I talked about before with actual thyroid deficiency, etc. So quick primer on that. I just want to build on these and just do a little bit each time so it makes sense. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Click on my channel, like my page, follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Go to drericprimax.com, post any questions, reach out to me. Like I said, like and subscribe to my channels and fire off any questions, anything you want to learn about, want me to talk about, and more. I'm happy to talk about, again, all things hormonal and health and fitness optimization, muscle medicine, and more. So thanks. Talk to you soon.